Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired from my last job. Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Paid my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do, or the trouble that we get into. Other than a wild hair once in a while, we can't help it, it's just our style.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. It's a Friday. Ash, Brent, Commander, all here. We're all ready to take you into the weekend with lots of fun and frivolity and who knows what else this morning.
Entertain and educate. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Feed. I'm going to tell you what I told Ash coming in this morning. I got home one of the few times this week that I've been home while it was still daylight, which is going to change next week, which
Sunday.
is good. So be aware. Which what's great about that is you can go next week to the Goliad Rodeo on Sunday.
Yes.
And do you get an extra hour or do you lose an hour? Yeah, you go to bed at 8.
Spring forward, right?
But it's 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you lose an hour. You have to get up. You're getting an hour less sleep in theory.
This Sunday, you'll get an hour less sleep.
It's this Sunday.
This Sunday, yep.
Okay, so Sunday is daylight savings time.
Yep.
That's great. I hate it when it's dark. You know?
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother.
So standing next to Eeyore for 6 months
My
of the year.
day is ruined.
And then as of Monday, it'll be like standing next to Piglet for 6 months.
I feel like I'm in,
hype. He's always positive.
Piglet on Spark.
I feel like I'm in Newfoundland. It's just always a half hour late. But here's the deal. I got home last night and my yard
The weather brought to you
has
by
popped.
ADHD.
No, brought to you by Ritalin. Squirrel. My yard has popped. And I was telling Ash, it's like a bluish green, a deep, happy green.
These are the riveting conversations we have.
Now, I could put my 8 chickens in the
Off
front
the air.
yard,
Yeah.
and they make Roundup look like child's play.
Yeah.
I could put my 8 chickens in the front yard, and in 2 days, I'd have no grass.
And
They
no
eat-
bugs.
They're like goats with beaks. They eat everything. They will eat anything and dig to get it.
Except for what's the one thing they won't eat?
Clover, probably.
No, they don't mind clover. The one that burns.
It burns. Syphilis? Sounds like 2 syllables or 3 syllables. Is syphilis a 3 syllable? Is it just syphilis? Like when you have it as much as you've had it from Canada, it's just syphilis. It's 2 syllables.
Yeah.
Syphilis.
Burning nettle. They won't eat that
Is
stuff.
that what you call it? It's Doc. It feels like burning nettles.
Stinging nettles,
You
whatever
got
that
the
stuff
crabs. 63 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of 83.
Nice day today.
The Wade and Carter Medical Report brought to you by AT Deerland Feed.
Ryan
Get in this
Hopping?
weekend
Yeah.
and get the 21-714 blend.
Yeah. And it's still probably not too late to put your pre-emergent.
No, you can put it down. It's time to do the pre-emergent as well.
Ryan Hopping, first one in. Good morning. Greg Garcia, Scott Snow, Kendra Douglas, Bobby Leister, Scott Tomko. We'll get to
Ryan
that in a second.
Hopping strolls in
Nice.
to the podium.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's Randy Langston, Stephanie Connie, Judge Posey, Funky Trey Molina.
Good morning, Judge. I apologize for our sophomorish weather report. I realize that we probably disappointed you somewhat there.
Linda Christ, Wendy Hughes Garcia. Good morning, Jarrett McCrugan, Monty Howard checking in, Ricky King, Jeff Finley, Tammy Keeling, Jordan Glass, Lisa Poole, H.R. Mallory.
Why, when you say Monty Howard, do I think of like Leave It to Beaver? I'm know. Like, he's like, oh, there's Monty. He's like he had Lumpy Rutherford, Monty Howard coming on over.
I don't know.
Hello, Mrs. Cleaver.
Nothing doesn't look lumpy at all.
No, I'm sure not.
Lean, fit, good looking guy.
You sound like that. What was that golf announcer? Oh, there's Severino Ballesteros. What a strapping young lad he is. And he goes on and he says, what a prize catch he would be for some woman. Like, wow. That was CBS Golf back in the day. Buddy
Stavanoa, Justin Glass, Mark Kurtz, good morning. I hope Junior Samples is feeling better. He came down with the flu yesterday.
Has he not checked in?
I haven't seen him, no. He's probably still sleeping.
He's like he has the Trudeau flu.
He does.
Like he doesn't feel good, so he just skips the whole deal.
Linda Chris says her yard's looking like a golf course. It won't look like that until Junior gets better.
Right. Andrew Alvarez
says he'll be campaigning tomorrow in Houston at Richard at Grand Roots event. And then next weekend, he'll be in San Antonio at the Bear meeting. www.fightfortexas.com, fightfortx.com.
Amen.
Yeah, Linda says he took to the bed. Hockey half minute. Dallas Stars come back, beat the Calgary Flames in overtime 3-2 last night. The game was blacked out locally, so I could not watch it.
But you've got to admit, Scott Tomko's pretty fired up.
Yeah,
I can show you how to get around that.
Well, yeah, not on the internet.
Commander Cody can help you hack.
Yeah. You know
Scott, what? He says that I have too much caffeine. I get up in the morning now, but I'm up every morning now. Like this morning, I woke up. I was up at honestly like 5:20.
You had to pee, right?
Yeah, well, it's a prostate issue. No, but I was up at 5:20, and I got up and let the puppy out.
Freaking laser beams, people.
Let the puppy out. And I've learned the hard way that he will immediately go out and tinkle. But he needs to go ahead and do the other.
Yeah.
And if you put him back in the kennel, because Donnie doesn't have to get up till 7, that between when I leave and she gets up, he poops in his kennel. And bless his heart. I've always been...
And dogs typically won't do that unless they have to.
Right. So that's my point. We know that, right? They don't like to poop where they sleep. And he's done a great job lately. This morning we talked, and I sat there and loved on him for a while. And then we put him back up until Donnie gets up, and then she takes him out.
Scott Tomko with the workaround in the hockey half minute. Victory Plus is a free app. Thank you. I don't care about the Ducks, but it would have been nice to watch that game last night. There's Torrin Bales, Katina Arterberry.
Hi, Katina.
Where do you want to start? Because everybody's making fun of the transgender mice comment that Donald Trump made during the State of the Union, and I'll be honest, I missed it. But they fact check him, and sure enough, we've sent $8 million to fund studies for transgender mice.
Good morning, Mom. But it's just that Trump derangement syndrome, right?
Absolutely.
If Joe Biden's administration had won, if Kamala Harris had won, and she had said, folks, I have empathy in my heart for transgender people, but we've got to quit wasting money on studying mice. Everybody would be happy. It's like we talked about the other day. If Kamala Harris were president today, and she would have said, the human loss of life, the tearing apart of families, the immense expense in Ukraine must stop. We must negotiate a ceasefire, and we must move these countries towards peace. She'd win a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yep.
She would. She could Nobel Peace Prize. Kamala, such great leadership. Oh, my goodness, what leadership.
BBC reporting this morning that the U.S. and Ukraine are going to sit down this weekend and discuss
of course
peace talks.
And it'll happen, and it'll be behind the scenes, and Trump will get zero credit for it. Does it not? irk you people.
Macron or Kier, whatever, the British Prime Minister, they'll end up sharing the Nobel Peace Prize over this.
Absolutely.
And Zelensky.
And who cares? And at the
Even
end
though
of the day,
Zelensky can go and pull his young men off the street, throw them in vans, and take them to the front
they
lines. but
kidnap kids and put them on the front lines.
He'll get a Peace Prize for it.
But why is it such an attaboy that France said, we have intel on what's going on with Russia. We're going to share it with Ukraine. Now, where you been for the last 3 years?
Well, and the only reason they said that is because Donald Trump basically said,
No
stop
more.
sharing our
done.
intel with the Ukraine.
I think that's a little harsh, but Trump's saying every day, take the deal. Take the deal. And you pointed out today that there may be another layer in that onion of why the U.S. has some tariffs against Canada that even most Canadians aren't keeping up with.
I'll try to work on an interview for next week because it could be pretty interesting. The guy's
Yeah.
written a book about it, and it's very similar to the book I talked about, I think 2 years ago, that Peter Schweitzer wrote here and pointed to all of the ties that all of our politicians have on both sides of the aisle with
To the
China.
banks,
To China.
to China.
Well, there's a Canadian version of that book that was written, and it's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's funny. CNN all of a sudden had to turn around and go, "Oops, yeah, we were wrong. We said Trump was lying about the transgender stuff," and then they had to turn around and go, "Well, he was actually right." CNN, an earlier version of this item incorrectly characterized as false Trump's claim about all the
I love it. It's like serious news.
yeah.
After the White House released a statement branding CNN fake news losers, the outlet issued a correction to its fact check.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
White Coast Waste Project's a nonprofit that is campaigning to stop animal testing, and they were investigating taxpayer-funded experiments on animals, and they were the ones that pointed out the $64 million worth of transgender animal experiments, including how $455,000 to study how HIV vaccines work in male mice subjected to female hormones.
Now, just stop and think about that. The National Institute of Health, remember, they give 60,000 grants a year. 60,000 a year.
At Duke University, our most brilliant researchers.
To study how HIV vaccines work in male mice subjected to female hormones to imitate human gender transitions. So they want to see if,
Because we can't do these experiments on people.
they want to see, but here's what's weird about it. Well, I guess if you're a dude and you decide to get hormonal treatment to become a chick,
And you want
does
the
your
HIV
vaccine still work?
Which one do they give you? The one for men or the one for women? I don't know.
Right. That's what they're studying. Is this really what you want your government funding?
University of Michigan spent almost $2.6 million on a National Institute of Health grant investigating the effects of hormone treatment in mice to imitate gender transition.
National Institutes of Health grant. I mean, come on. That place is just an ATM for the bizarre and politically correct.
$3.1 million. This is the details they dug into.
This
To look
is at
into the-
Indiana University.
To look into the effects of feminizing hormone therapy on the lungs of rodents.
Now, I get it that in theory, the rodents imitate people. I get all that, but come on. Come on. That's a waste of money.
Thank you, Kier Starmer. Thank you, Tammy Keeling, for the
You realize
for the
how
last
much
name.
how much money could be given to, what if it was the National Institutes of Education? How much money, National Institutes of Law Enforcement? Unbelievable.
Is Mom checking in? Good morning, Mom. Sarah Elkins. John Anderson.
It's
Who else? H.R. Mallory.
latest record on the Jags. They were
20-2. They won yesterday, 15-0.
Man, they need to call the
Rolling.
dogs off. I'm tired of that.
Yeah,
We're getting a bully reputation.
Beat Jarvis Christian 2 more today.
Beating up on the Christians.
Good luck to UHV softball at the Gulf Coast tournament this weekend. Always a big one.
Are they playing well?
Yeah, a little bit inconsistent right now, but they'll turn it around. They always do.
There you go.
There's Tamara Studer. Good morning.
Tamara Studer, great time to start a break
yeah,
and
there
tell
we
you
go.
about the Dollar Floor Store. 15% off now to the end of the month. Get in. Here's what you need to do. Get off the sofa and get in there. You know, I've got that one, it's a bedroom and it doesn't need to be remodeled. Here's what you do. You rip out the carpet. You put one lighter shade of paint in that room. So you paint the room. It smells new. It smells fresh. You get by the Dollar Floor Store. You find a complimentary vinyl plank flooring. You get that.
They have
stinky,
peel and stick ones now.
Yeah.
So easy to lay.
You can do it yourself, but how about this? They can also recommend an installer for you. If not recommend, introduce you to.
Yeah.
So get by the Dollar Floor Store today. Allen's Wrecker Service last night got a twofer. Went by Veracruz Restaurant with Caden after his track meet. Ran into Alan and Janet Miller.
Nice.
Doing great. Friends helping friends. It's wonderful stuff. There you go. Get by Veracruz today. Chicken Fried Friday. They're closed Saturday and Sunday. Allen's open all weekend. Be careful. Watch yourselves on the road. 578-6300. USA Concrete Coating.
578 Homes, the number to call.
Sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it, whatever you want done. They can level it. They can seal the cracks. They can put down a tough as nails polyurethane coat that won't.
Crack stick, peel or fade.
There you have it.
Remember when I struggled with that?
Concrete. You did for like 4 years.
Yeah, come a long way.
You have. We cut that little piece of
There you
tissue under your tongue.
15% off up to $500 through the month of March. At
$500, a lot of vinyl plank flooring too. Trey Molina says somebody called it the Gulf of America and it caused a storm in Corpus. Think about that. If you're from Corpus Christi and you're listening, you're in America.
I liked it better when we can blame Mexico for those hurricanes.
Right. You're not in Mexico. Corpus Christi. We're going to straighten that town out soon enough. Peter McNally says, talk Texas politics or sports. No.
Andrew Alvarez says if they wanted to justify rodents by saying they're like humans, they would actually use pigs for animal testing. Pigs are more biologically similar to humans and rodents are. We, in fact, use some pig parts for organ transplants. You know, we would.
Better be one cute pig.
But pigs take up more room in a lab. That's why they don't do it.
There you go.
Need more space. Let's talk Texas politics and
Let's do
sports
it.
because you know what, Peter? This is how pathetic parents are.
See, I told you, Cody. I told you he's in that, starting it off with a negative. This is how pathetic parents are.
This is. I wouldn't have to go there if parents weren't like this.
While he's looking, Astros update.
Yeah, well,
go
there
ahead.
you go. No, go ahead.
First State Bank of Louise Astros win yesterday, 5-1 over the New York Mets. And the kid Gusto that I read you the story about the other day, he won the game 5-1.
Good for him. Cam Smith played phenomenal.
Cam Smith, folks, remember this name.
They might be trading.
This kid's gonna make the ball club.
Yeah.
He's gonna make the ball club. Did he play third yesterday?
Yeah.
22 years old. I don't know how he
I think he's hitting like 600 in spring training right now.
Well, yeah, and obviously we know the game. It's not going to last, but it's better than hitting 150 and hoping you make a roster.
Yeah.
This kid is saying, I've got an opportunity. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, when you're trying to make the team, hitting 150 in spring training doesn't get it done. When you're trying to make the team.
There. He's now hitting 636. He's got 7 RBIs.
Had an RBI yesterday. Yep.
That is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's leading the spring training team in home runs and RBIs. Think about that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty solid. You see a pitching line? You got yesterday's box.
I can find it.
It doesn't matter, right?
Not really. But
Superlatives are better than failures, even in the spring. Yeah. Let's see what our man Gusto did. What his pitching line was.
2 2/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Okay. Yeah. 2 2/3, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah. Our boy Cam goes 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Singleton got his average right where it is all year, 158.
Yeah, no, he's done. When is the Walker kid going to play some more?
Hopefully today. I don't know.
I thought I saw Walker
Over here. That's a different team.
I didn't see him. No wonder I didn't see him.
Yeah.
It's on the other team.
But they're at that point where they're getting guys, an inning, a third of an inning.
Yeah, just trying to see everybody's got.
Yeah.
Guys you never heard of, Van Way, Walter.
Hader. We got spring training ERA.
That's fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
When you're not worried about making the team, that's when you have a 13 ERA.
Jennifer Mark checking in.
Of course, when you're pitching 1/3 of an inning and you give up an RBI, I mean, you're done.
Ryan Hopping says, who's coming second to the Dodgers is the real conversation.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't have a hate for the Dodgers because I kind of liked him when Tommy Lasorda was their manager and Kirk Gibson was doing the pump around second because they beat
Hershiser was playing.
And Fernando was looking at the sky.
Steve Garvey.
Somehow finding home plate.
Ron Say, the Penguin.
Although Tommy Lasorda reminded me more of the Penguin every time he waddled up to the mound.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda was the poster child for why managers shouldn't have to wear uniforms. Jennifer Marr and the sheriff are on the road today. Y'all safe travels. Y'all be careful.
Says Walker is hurt. Uh-oh.
Walker's hurt. How convenient. When you're a 3-time Gold Glover, you get hurt in spring training.
So let's talk Texas politics and sports, Pete, because Texas parents have gotten to a point where our state rep had to file House Bill 3369.
The Peter McNally appeasement moment brought to you by Peter McNally.
And the Honorable A.J. Louderback, State Rep HD 30, filed HB 3369 to legally protect referees and allow them to eject a spectator who disrupts youth sports.
So
he says there's a loophole in the
playing.
current law that ties the hands of school districts and UIL sports officials from removing abusive and disruptive spectators at youth sports. The UIL has known this has been a problem for a long time. It's why they struggle to find officials in most of their sports. It's why most of youth sports struggles to find officials because of idiot parents who berate the 14-year-old trying to learn how to become an umpire, and they miss a call at first base, and you think it was the end of the world.
People go on the field, they come out of the stands. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it happens in every sport. It happens all around the globe. It's not just a specific Texas issue, but the fact that
why can't they throw them out?
That's the question I would like to know because
they threw me out.
I
used to get thrown out. I've been thrown out.
Well, that was Little League. That wasn't high school.
I got thrown out of a basketball game in Gregory, Portland.
I've removed fans from UHV games.
Yeah. We won that game. I motivated the team.
But I question why they couldn't remove somebody.
H.R. Mallory with a shot over the bow on a Friday morning. Wade and Carter always concerned with appeasing the less than 1% of their audience.
I actually, behind the scenes, I texted Pete, told us to, spur us to talk sports and politics. And so, no, I'm just kidding.
We don't have to tell Tammy Keeling to send in minutia. She does it anyway. Yeah. Tammy Keeling comes in with transgenic. Yeah. You can hear the leftist response. Transgenic. For example, hormones to see if sex-specific inflammatory responses are responsible for asthma in women or if estrogen is responsible for higher lung diseases in women. It's not transgender mice.
Well, according to this, Yahoo News, and the fact check was correct, according to the
CNN doesn't know anything either. Peter McNally says when he was coaching, he had a drunk woman come into the booth, into the dugout. I had a drunk woman come out on the field like a couple of years ago. It was great.
This was according to the White Coat Waste Project. Yeah. So, I'm just reporting what I reading. I'm not even reporting. I'm just reading what's there. But regardless, Andrew
Alvarez says transgenic was already debunked.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
We're spending this kind of money on mice.
I don't know. I really, really try so hard to embrace the thoughts of others, but it's just craziness. There's just so much liberal leftist garbage in the world that just needs to be eliminated.
So this bill is necessary.
Torn Bill says Wade and Carter had a drunk woman call in. It was epic. She didn't realize how valuable she was. That was during some of the formative years of the program, and we were so polite to her, and she was so loaded. You people, y'all suck.
And they tried to tell us she wasn't drunk.
Yeah, that was during the first Donald Trump regime.
Yeah. So
Regime.
HB 3369 is relating to the removal of a spectator of certain school extracurricular athletic activities or competitions. I'm thinking they need to put band in there as well.
Just ban them?
No, band.
Oh, band?
Marching
people?
band.
Are there bad band parents? Like at a UIL marching competition?
They need to add cheer and dance, apparently, because there was a shooting or a gunplay incident in Dallas over the weekend at a cheerleading competition. Ridiculous.
Now we've got Tammy Keeling calling out the senatorial, no, try multiple sources, debunked who. There you have it, Ash. Is it time to resurrect?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't have time to find it.
Right. It's just not worth it.
Not really. But that's where we are in Texas. And it's too bad that I don't know how the UI, I don't get it, because they'll kick a kid out of a game for bringing in a noisemaker.
Right.
But they can't go and kick out a parent who's being
Rude.
a jerk. Yeah.
Jerk alert. You're out of here.
Yep.
Nice. Donald Trump still closing the Department of Education. SpaceX.
Yeah, blew up yesterday.
It's in testing phases. Nobody on board, nothing like that. But they're testing. They're trying to find a way to make sure they can recover the pieces they want and get the separation they want. They had a fuel leak, and it blew up. A second failure in 6 weeks. I think Elon has the money. It's okay.
Yeah, the FAA requiring SpaceX to perform a mishap investigation into the loss of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Why does they
want to know why it crashed.
But does the National Institutes the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration then go and ask Ford to investigate every time a car on the famed track of Nuremberg hits a wall?
The FAA is just trying to get some credibility.
Yeah.
Transgender athletes, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. By the way, the San Andreas fault, they're going to rename it Newsom's fault.
Yeah.
Said transgender athletes playing in oh, wow, this is good for him. Hey,
this is new.
off.
This is new because this is the state
that supports everything leftist.
Yeah.
Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom said transgender athletes playing in women's sports is, quote, deeply unfair. In a break from most Democrats' position on the topic.
In a break from California's position on this topic.
See, and this is where I'm always confused with the Democrats. Like, if you're a Democrat and you're like staunchly against assault rifles and you're staunchly for pro-choice, are you all of a sudden are you torn? Are you torn about women just getting hammered by dudes in sports and that's okay? Newsom's comments come after President Trump signed an executive order last month banning transgender women from competing in women's sports. He delivered on a political issue central to his 24 campaign. How about that?
And and Charlie Kirk was speaking on, or Newsom was speaking on a Charlie Kirk podcast, which he's wanting to run for something because
notably Newsom is eyeing a potential 28 presidential bid, having watched Republicans wield the issue against Democrats last cycle. So being a typical Democrat, it'll help me get elected to take this position now. So what I'm going to do is say, I agree. I'm not saying I agree with Donald Trump. I'm saying that men have no place in women's sports because that's popular. And in the swing states, I might pick up a few votes. There you go.
Randy Lang says, could you imagine being on the space station right now? I don't think that's the rocket that's coming to get him, though. That's the other thing. This is other stuff. But
doesn't NASA have a new space shuttle they've been trying?
I don't know. I mean, the space shuttle basically was like, to me, it always resembled the Concorde.
Yeah.
Why aren't, I mean, I've heard that somebody's trying to resurrect the Concorde in like an updated.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need to update it. I mean, I know it was an expensive plane, but man, that thing was, the silhouette was awesome.
It was awesome.
Supersonic speeds. That little bent nose that was kind of up a little bit. It was so awesome.
Tammy says the debris from explosions has caused the FAA to reroute flights. Question mark. Maybe that's why you can't fly through a debris field falling back to Earth. No doubt about it. And really, the bigger picture is anything that happens in U.S. airspace that involves something flying and all of a sudden not flying, there's going to be an FAA investigation. Yeah. It's what they do.
But wouldn't they have rerouted the flights around that?
Anyway? Yeah, no. There's no chance there was any commercial aircraft anywhere in the region. So, yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
So CBS News and YouGov poll after Trump's speech the other night in which, everybody's quick to say, well, half the country can't stand him. This was post State of the Union.
This is CBS, who
and
is
YouGov. These
at best center left.
Yeah.
At best, this hurt them to report this.
77% of Americans support his plan to cut government waste and spending. 77% back his immigration and border policies. 76% of Americans approved of Trump's speech. What I really find interesting is that the Dems, after 4 years and now into a fifth, have not been able and cannot understand when Trump's trolling them.
Yeah, no, they don't.
And when he's not.
No, they can't figure it out. Their heads just explode.
Yeah. 76% approved of removing congressmen who interrupted his speech. And now this has become the latest racial issue in this country.
But Trump, and I do feel for Trump. So like we can be here and we can go, everybody knows. And it's just a turn of phrase, right? Well, everybody knows that peanut butter and jelly is the greatest sandwich ever. Whatever. If
Grape or strawberry jelly.
If Donald Trump
Getting into the
says
minutia.
that, the Dems immediately go nuts. Everybody, you really think everybody knows that? They miss the forest for the trees. Yeah. They really do. Michelle Wilson-Hawkins throws out just a terrible idea. Says Tammy should be a co-host one day. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. We'd have to turn off the cameras because the assault in the middle of the show of Tammy beating us about the head and shoulders.
With a 2x4.
No doubt. She would show up heavily armed.
I like being politically
Commander,
incorrect
what do you think?
And not having a female.
We already have 2x4s over here in the corner.
Right. You've got our back.
No, for her.
To use on us. Yeah, he's stocking things up already.
And the ratings would be great. It's kind of like Bugs Bunny. I can only do this once. She's just smacking us in the forehead.
73% of Americans support the president's stance on Russia and Ukraine. So why is there so much outrage? Because the vocal minorities on social media are ripping it up.
Peter, good. Thank you for that input. Sylvester Turner, the former mayor of Houston, dies at 70. He was loved by many Texans.
Really?
Well, apparently so. He got elected mayor of Houston.
Wow, they've elected idiots for mayors in Houston for a long time.
Inner city Houston, the ghettos of Houston. Did you know this? You guys. I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. Jasmine Crockett plays this ghetto card. She's dropping F-bombs and she talks like, "Yo, man, we built this country, man." Did you know that she's highly educated, private school educated? All of that is just a shtick.
Act. Yep.
It's an act, people.
Well, Kamala Harris did the same thing.
It's an act. Kamala Harris tried to come off like she was
from Georgia.
From Oakland. Remember, she was from Oakland. I grew up on the streets of Oakland, man. No, you didn't. You grew up in a affluent area of Vancouver, Canada.
Montreal.
Same thing.
Fact check.
Who cares? Are they close to each other, Montreal and Vancouver?
No. Like New York to L.A.
She was on the west side, though, Montreal.
Yes.
Don't act like you people know how to look at a map of Canada. I visited with a guy the other day who was from Canada. And I go, where are you from? And he said it like this, Toronto. Like, is there any other place? Toronto.
Toronto believes they're the center of the universe. That's why
exactly
most of Canada does not like. That's why most Canadians do not like
It's true.
Torontonians.
That's how he said it. I go, so what part of Canada are you from? Because I knew that I had like the next line. Well, my buddy Ash is from Calgary. And he goes, Toronto. Like, I said, oh, so you're a big, Toronto sports fan? Yep, all of them. I said, oh, good. I said, yeah, one of my best friends is from Calgary. He goes, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't be bothered to even talk about.
No, that's where Toronto is.
Craziness. Peter McNally says he was a state rep for years in a UH and Harvard law.
I didn't know him as a person, but as a politician, he was terrible.
Terrible politician. Houston's a terrible city, terribly run city. School district sucks. They've got zero zoning. Everywhere you go in Houston is a ghetto.
We don't have zoning.
We're a ghetto too. Tell me this town's not trashy. More bros. Yeah. Bro Cephas checking in.
Morning, bro.
Sup?
Morning, brah. I'll go surfer on you. Morning, brah.
So that's an act two. John Paul Hall, highly educated, Texas A&M University. He's sitting on the Lido deck of his yacht. And he's the guy that says, how much is fuel? $6.50 a gallon. Charge me $8. Put a little something on there for yourself. That's how JP rolls. He's got the money. He doesn't care. He's got the money.
After you fill my Bentley,
You know what?
fill your Yugo.
You know what his other famous line on everything is? How much did Torin pay? 20? Charge me 30. Yeah, it's a gloat match. It is. It is. Torin only paid 30. I want $50 worth.
Even if it's the same 10 gallons.
Right, same 10 gallons. Just pump some out onto the dock. Give some to the boat behind me.
Light a match.
Can you imagine like having like a 300-foot yacht, and as you're pulling away, like a 150-foot yacht pulls in, and the guy at the dock goes, "Oh yeah, that guy picked up your fuel." like paying it forward like in a Sonic, but just go ahead and fill up that guy's yacht for him too. These people see these big, like these 70-foot Vikings, and they're like, man, I'd sure love to have an offshore boat. All right, so you drop $150 for a captain and about $80,000 a year for insurance. And every time you take it out of the dock, it costs you $5,000. I don't care how much money you got. That's a waste of money. Just rent it. Rent it. But if you've got that much money, wouldn't that be awesome? Tyler Dix says that would make fishing tournaments a lot more effective.
Yeah. If we could just John Paul Hall was standing there filling up everybody's boat,
give that guy 30 gallons. No, make it 40.
30 might get you out of the intercoastal.
Right.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Randy Langston wants to know, if Canada becomes another U.S. state, does that make you a double citizen, a born-again citizen? How would that work?
Citizen. Do you have to be baptized?
I don't know.
I
He
don't
also
know.
said he'd want a refund.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm not going to get into my citizenship status here.
Michelle Wilson Hawkins says that cause of death on Mr. Turner is unknown.
He had a lot. I heard he had some complications, and I'm don't want to disparage the guy. We talked enough bad about him.
Well,
when he was a crappy mayor,
you just observed him as mayor. Yeah. Melissa Henson says, my family thinks I'm trashy for living in Victoria. Well, compared to the South Shore, Long Island, Summers in the Hamptons. Yeah, of course you are.
No, they're just jealous you got out of that liberal bastion of idiocy in New York.
Yeah.
Peter Manala says Tesla's building a big plant in Houston. It's funny because when Elon Musk was the darling of the left, and they couldn't wait to get into a Tesla to show how eco-friendly they were.
Now they're troubled. They're torn because they don't like the leadership.
No, they don't like Elon, and all of a sudden they're worried about all the grants that he got from the government, which, without doing much digging, there was probably some sort of process
Right.
whether it was competitive bidding, but he probably had to meet a criteria. And I've made this point before. Unlike Solyndra, in which Barack Obama just gave his buddy who ran that BS company $500 million, and then in loan guarantees. And then when the guy decided to go bankrupt and default, I didn't have to pay any of it back, and there was no accounting for the $500 million they got.
True story. Peter McNally asked Brent, how can you badmouth the great city of H-Town? Now, I agree, Houston is a great city, but it's a great city because of the people from Baytown, the Woodlands, Cypress, that all come in,
Sugarland,
make things happen, and then leave. Because the people that live in Houston, most of them are ghetto.
Shouldn't that be an H city then?
Could be.
Can't be
The
a
same
town.
thing, go to Dallas. Inner city Dallas, worthless.
yeah.
You come in from Plano, you come in from the Park Cities, you come in from Highland Park, you make that city thrive. Then you leave. They all leave. And then the only really great cities in Texas, San Antonio is not as bad as some people think it is. It's very liberal politically, but it's a good it's a good city. If you took away the retired people in the military, it would be Lavernia, but it's a great city. The best city, I think, in Texas is probably Fort Worth, as far as being solid, clean, nice place to be. I like Fort Worth. There's Daniel San Miguel. Good morning, buddy.
B. Small says inner city Hearst strong.
Peter McNally, catching an ear back from H.R. Mallory, the Super Trooper, says judges letting violent criminals
Commit
out?
murders equals a great city.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I'm working on bringing a guest in who unfortunately, a friend of mine whose family was a victim of liberal prosecutors, liberal catch and release policies, and lackadaisical oversight on some of these things. And then the next thing you know, their son was murdered.
Yeah, absolutely. As B. Small says that inner city Hearst is strong. So you got the, right?
Yeah.
HEB, the Hearst Euless Bedford corridor. There you go. Now, Tammy Keeling points out, so I have a serious question, because this is, I have this memorized. I don't have to read it. But Tammy says increase the basic allotment in HB2 or vote no on a $220 increase that will not bring schools to $2019. I was on the air in 2019, and I specifically remember people belly aching and whining about that there wasn't enough money then. So to use 2019 as like the standard is kind of doubling down like, hey, it's terrible. We never had enough money before. We never had money. I think that it seems to me that these school districts need to make some cuts somewhere. We've got, in the same breath that I support VISD vehemently, and I have supported every bond since the one that I told them was going to fail, and they've all failed because I, told them they were going to fail. I don't understand why we have so many people at the Hager building. There's just so many people work for, they've got media consultants and they've got this and they've got that. It's a joke. If you're not holding a piece of chalk and teaching a kid to read, you need to be looking for another job. We'll take that money and spread it out over the teachers. It's easy. You don't need this much administration to be this average. You don't need
That might be why you have. That might be why you're this average.
And then you get to the high school, and I don't know. I mean, what are there's not only are there like the principal, who I guess is like the CEO, and then you've got like an AP for each grade level, and they have staff. Whatever happened to Mr. Anderson walking the hall with a golf club, and if you got out of line, he whacks you in the shin? I don't know.
It's abuse now.
B. Small says, stay away from Fort Worth. Don't mess it up.
Monty Howard says, I'll give that a good second.
Amen. No, we're with you folks on that. I think Fort Worth is a wonderful city. Yeah.
I do too. I liked it.
Yeah, it's nice. Cowtown, old Cowtown.
Oh, Cowtown.
Come on. Get you to Joe T. Garcia's and have you some really below average Mexican food for about $30 a plate. There's a place called the Railhead Barbecue right there on 20 or 30. Really a nice, it's good barbecue now. I'll give them that. Downtown, you got the, what's that, Billy Miners? Used to have the peanuts on the floor. I don't know if they do anymore or not.
Rodeo every Saturday.
Nice.
Old,
HR Mallory says traffic is a mess in San Antonio. What always gets me in San Antonio, thank goodness, I've been using this Waze app, WAZE, and it'll say literally like move over.
welcome to the 2020s.
Right. Well, I've always had like Google Maps and all that, but this one helps. Shut up, Ash. But let me tell you, if you're in San Antonio,
Commander's laughing harder than me because he's been using it probably for 10 years where I've only been using it for
Commander
8.
probably wrote that code. You can come into San Antonio on 87, and all of a sudden you're on 87 and 90. Then you're on 87, 90, and 35. 87, 90, 35, and 410. And the next thing you know, they throw in 37 and 35. And then you're on, man.
Then you're on business to 93.
And you're just like, and then all of a sudden you see 281 and I'm just going to go to the Pearl and drink beer. I got to go to the Pearl and drink beer. I got to get off this highway. You got to admit, I-10, you're like, I just want to find I-10. The Durango exit. I mean, you just stay lost in San Antonio till you learn it.
And 1604 is just, it makes sense part of the way, and then you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you never think you're getting back to anything
But
when
you're
you're on
in the
there.
middle of nowhere, and every mile there's a stoplight.
Yeah.
Hello? Is anybody there? Right. Hello? You get out there by Converse Judson, and you're just like, stoplight, stoplight. And then there's like an Air Force base out there. Stoplight, traffic, stoplight.
John Paul Hall wants to know if you found a new thing called a pen and a pencil and a calculator.
Oh, John Paul, you're killing me. You're killing me. Peter McNally says University of Houston, Rice, St. Thomas, NASA, Astros, Rodeo, Texans. Yep. What more do you want?
I don't know.
I think I want safety. Do you know how many times, like this last week, we stopped at a couple of convenience stores and it was sketch. Like, it was sketchy.
Yeah.
Are you following me on that?
I'm following you.
Houston's ghetto.
Well, it's a Hanson signing off. She's got to get to the Lauren Johnson golf tournament. Andy Schneider's in, so we need to announce bingo day. All our bingo players are leaving, so let's get it done before.
Well, so you folks can do it on the 13th, and you'll be void of me, which is fine. That doesn't hurt my feelings this time. Ash and I kind of alternate sometimes going and not going. The 13th is not a bad time. That's next Thursday.
Yeah.
And it gets me out of it, you know.
And we can't do it the 20th because that's the Victoria 100 Club.
Yeah.
And we can't do it. I got something the 27th, so I'll take one for the Wade and Carter team.
There you go.
I'll take the bullet.
We might be able to come by, but I have a track meet. You know, I'm a parent. Again, still, forever. We're thrilled right now. I'm going to you right now. Boom, right there. We're joined by my friend. I don't know. Wow, the applause is definitely. I don't know exactly how. I don't remember the original connection of how you got affiliated with the Wade and Carter show, but it just means so much to me to know that I brought you in and I continue to bring you back. It means the world to me. And I've watched you grow. It seems like since you were a child. And it's just,
I was just the backup host
when
Wade was gone.
You were a tremendous backup host because she was the first one, Commander. Tyler would go, no, that's not right, Brent. I'm like, you're just the backup host. She'd go, no,
check.
You're being stupid. You know. So anyway, for those of you that don't know,
it became fashionable for everybody to jump on that bandwagon.
Everybody goes, he is stupid. You must admit. This is Tyler Wayachow Dick. So this is Ash's daughter, and it's just you look lovely. It's great to see you. And I'm sure you're here for something to do. You're waiting, aren't you?
No.
Tell us what's going on.
I'm just surprised I got here on time.
That a girl. Yeah, you don't have Marley in tow.
No, she's at school.
Okay.
For good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, we know. We start our kids now. Oh, she's 2.5. Oh, yeah, she's in pre-K. Because I just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
How are you and what's going on? Tell folks about how you got started in the Goliad Rodeo.
12 years ago, I
That's
started
crazy.
as a bartender in the
she was
VIP
nice.
tent.
She was 14.
Right.
Yeah. And then my friends Cassie and Carrie, their dad, Jeff Bates, has been the chairman of the rodeo for as long as they can remember. And he told me, I'm no longer a bartender. I'm part of the committee. Get to work. I said,
Good
okay.
for you. You didn't just get to work. You took over.
No. I don't want that. I don't want that on my shoulders.
Could.
Jeff knows how to run this rodeo like the back of his hand, and I am perfectly okay with him staying in that spot.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, how are things? Give folks the update. Let them know they're skinny.
Well, the skinny is rodeo's next weekend. County Fair starts next Thursday. Rodeo kicks off Friday night. Saturday, we've got rodeo that evening. We got the Sale of Champions at 1:00. So if you guys want to come out, support the kids of Goliad County and bid on their animals, put some add-ons in, walk through the barns, see how hard that they've worked all year. And then Sunday, we've got our rodeo matinee performance.
So now folks can pretty much they can just show up, right? I mean,
I would recommend for Friday and Saturday, buy your pre-sale tickets. Pre-sale ticket holders get to get in the gate an hour early. So pre-sale tickets are on sale here in Victoria at High Brim, Hats and Western Wear, and the Wellhead Tavern.
And they sold out last year.
Yeah.
For Friday and Saturday. So if you didn't have a ticket, you weren't getting in.
Well, you were getting in, but you were standing and you were standing in the back where you probably couldn't see.
anything.
but it is worth going and standing. I've said it every year that we've ever attended. The rodeo in Goliad just, to me, laps circles around the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
It's definitely more intimate. The way that our arenas are set up, if you're in a seat, there's not a bad seat in the house, and if you're standing, and you can still see everything.
Well, see,
so.
Ash, last
And
year,
I'm gonna give a knock on wood early peek to the forecast next week.
Yes.
It looks beautiful.
It does look beautiful.
Yeah.
you remember last year when I really lobbied Tyler Hard for some VIP seating, and they put me in the back corner on a stool in chute number 3, and that
Three-legged
that
stool.
one bull stepped on me, and I was not happy. I came home all muddy. Dawn's like, "What happened to you?"
Well, I can promise you I didn't put you
I
there.
had the VIP seating. I want to be up on that bridge with Brother Gary waving at people. And Gary's up there. You know he is.
You can't get up there with the brother man because he's got a sniper rifle, and even when
Well-
it starts walking that way, he gets picked off.
He's on that catwalk, and
We
he's
got a
going,
committee
I taught that
member.
guy. I taught that guy. He's on that catwalk.
We got a committee member, Justin, that guards that catwalk like no other. You're
good
not getting
stuff.
up there unless you're in a rodeo shirt or
the
you're a
brother
cowboy.
man.
I know you've got sponsors, and you're welcome to mention them, but I can't ever think of the Goliad Rodeo without thanking Atzenhofer Chevrolet.
absolutely.
That's not our bucket shoot number
Tremendous.
6.
Unbelievable what a great job they do. I tell people, if you stand still over there, somebody will come by and put an Atzenhofer logo on you.
Yeah.
Everything over there has Atzenhofer on it in some form.
Atzenhofer's always been a huge supporter of anything that young kids do in the entire area. So
That's
it's no
awesome.
surprise that they're a huge sponsor. This is our 3rd year with them being our presenting sponsor. So yeah, when you walk in the fairgrounds, you're going to see Atzenhofer a little bit of
That
everywhere.
is fantastic.
And some of the people ask, how can I get what Atzenhofer's got? And I said, well, there's a cost with that.
Cut that check.
Yeah.
Cut that check.
Go buy some cars.
So thanks to Atzenhofer. We really appreciate their support. We're going to have some of their trucks that are going to be on display at the rodeo this weekend. So yeah, really excited, really thankful for them for all that they do. So yeah, State Smith Pro Rodeos is our stock contractor.
Always good
as
stock.
always.
They have great animals.
Oh yeah, so they were nominated for Best Stock Contractor of the Year at the PRCA Awards in Vegas this past year. We were also nominated for the 9th time for Best Small Rodeo at the national level. We've won Best Small Rodeo at the Texas Pro Rodeo Circuit 3 times, coming runner-up twice. So
Awesome.
definitely a great rodeo locally that you can just drive down the road to.
Marley going to do the mutton busting?
Maybe. Weigh-in is this weekend, so if you're interested in mutton busters, get down to the fairgrounds this Saturday.
Friday night, free street dance with Shane and Renee. They're awesome. The Wilkies are
Wonderful.
awesome.
And I believe they've got some live entertainment during the day, some acoustic shows in between, like the Sale of Champions and things like that. So
Cool.
So showtimes for Friday and Saturday are 7:30 p.m. Plan accordingly. If it was me, I'd get over there about 6 o'clock. I'd have my ticket pre-bought. I would walk the fairgrounds. There's rides.
there's rides. There's gonna be tons of vendor booths.
They have
So
really good brisket.
yeah, the barbecue is amazing.
Last year though they sold out, but sometimes on the Sunday
you can get a whole brisket
really
for
good
sale.
deal on
Yeah, you can buy a
cooked
brisket.
So yeah, that's the county fair barbecue cook team. They do a wonderful job. We've got other food vendors that are going to be out there, clothes, jewelry, ropes, trinkets, things like that. Lots of vendors out there. Get your funnel cake, all the things. Beer booth will be open all day.
Sunday's a 2 p.m. matinee.
VIP packages available still or no?
Very few, yes. We've got some reserved seating section available, and I think we maybe have one sponsor box open.
Folks, this
maybe.
this rodeo never disappoints. This is, to me, it's the best of the best. It's Dawn and I.
I like this rodeo from a rodeo perspective way better than Houston.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. You're right on top of what's going on. You might catch a clump of mud. Hey, got it. Throw it back.
Oh, absolutely.
Johnny Houghton, for nothing else, come support Johnny Houghton, our listener. His son's entered. Don't know when yet.
I'll know what day he draws on Wednesday. I get the day sheets on Wednesday. So I'll probably be back in Thursday morning to just talk about the type of contestants that we have that are showing up to Goliad, because we've got top tier contestants, those that have qualified for the national finals. Yeah. They've all competed at Goliad
last year.
You're going to come back for us again next week?
Yep.
Fantastic.
I'm going to give you guys some. Yep. And I'm going to give you guys some tickets for Sunday to give away Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Nice.
And maybe get you guys in.
Right. Just tell them to put my stool in where the roping is.
Well, Jordan Glass says for 3 easy payments of $19.99, that's $1,999. You can get up on the catwalk.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. I appreciate you guys are so supportive.
We'll be putting Jordan to work in the VIP tent, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I'll be looking for Jordan Glass when I get there.
All the glasses will be there.
Yeah, they're all there. Every single one of them. Yeah, shot glass, whiskey glass, empty glass. They're all there.
I was going to say, when they're hungry, an empty glass. All right, hey, we love you. Thanks for coming by. We're going to get the brother man in here for the wrap-up on what's going on this weekend. I'm sure he'll be talking about the Houston Rodeo. Come on in, brother man. And while he's doing that, White Trash Services, 550-1826. Is White Trash involved out there too? We'll get them involved. White Trash Site Services. White Trash Services ought to be involved out there at that rodeo. Palace Bingo, we got that. Chesnick Furniture, Chesnick and Love. Make your house a home. Get in and see why.
You always
amen.
Do better at Chesnick.
Amen. The chopping block this weekend. Great time to grab steaks, fajitas.
$12 a pound strips still on sale.
Absolutely. And
today is prime rib day, I think, at the food truck.
Ooh, wow.
And it's really good, I've heard from reliable sources.
And then Wind Services, Peter McNally finally tells HR that there's not enough courts to take care of all the crooks, as I said.
Be Small wishes the rodeo wasn't so far. It sounds awesome. Come on down, Be Small.
It's a ghetto.
Brent's got a room for you.
I got a room for you, Be Small. Wind Services for all your electrical needs. Now, we just jump right back. Yeah. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Greatness is in the house. With immense respect and love, we welcome the brother man. How are you?
I'm great,
sir?
guys. Love to see the young lady right over here.
She's awesome.
Terrific. We love you, honey.
Where's the young lady?
I was going to say, hey, she's got a husband and 2 kids. I knew her when she was young. She's tired. She's tired, Gary.
And Brent, she's kinfolk.
She is. She's
one of the Dick boys, and that's my family too, right there. So very proud of her and what she does. And you guys hanging in there. A lot of good stuff going on. Real quick. VFW has their fish fry. We got to do it for the veterans today. Starts at 11 o'clock till sold out, and they've got places to go. You can drive through or eat in. So
for the non-Catholics, we are in the middle of fish fry season.
That's right. It's Lent. It's the Lenten season. That's also, how come you boys aren't playing the ABC's golf tournament today? 2 flights. You playing?
He is.
What flight? Morning?
One afternoon.
1:30. You ain't going to make it right now. 1:30. 8 o'clock and 1:30. I'll be out there for some of that. I'll catch you. You're not?
You just see Brother Gary walking around with like a carafe of wine.
Let me tell you something. You want good?
Stumbling around.
I'm doing the tailgating, buddy. We're doing the tailgate.
Stumbling around the 18th green. Imagine if you want to just like.
I think the guys I'm playing with are out there cooking right now.
Just imagine if Brother Gary drank. Just what it'd be like. Because he makes 27 stops a day. What if he had to have like one little taste?
He'd be Victoria's Harry Carey if he drank.
Right.
Knucklehead.
You're doing great.
South Texas girls softball opening ceremonies. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Victoria Youth Sports Complex. I'll be doing that one in the morning. Throwing out first pitch, too. I got to do it right. I got to do it right.
Are you going to throw lefty this time?
Lefty, baby.
I know.
I got to. I already been practicing a little bit, man.
Shoulder's a little tight. You might have to go submarine, though.
Right.
It'd be great if you just over there early, just warming up, just having a little catch, like with Billy Crystal, just throwing the ball around.
And I hear the boys, all the Little League boys, next week at your place.
Yeah,
Little
on
League Friday night, 14th.
14th. Presented by Atzenoffer, free ticket weekend. So yeah, come on out. All 4 little leagues involved this year.
Yeah,
last year we only had 2.
Yeah,
and we had 1,400 people there last year.
I know.
Yeah. You know what you're getting to.
We might be pushing 2,000 people there for next
almost
Friday night.
time for you to be out there going, see that little one right there? I taught his grandmother.
I had him.
I taught his grandmother that.
I read to him last week.
Right, because it takes. It's like a 9-hour ceremony because Gary goes, hey, I know you, and I taught your mom. Yeah, it's I taught your grandmother.
We read to the kids this week, Read Across America. I was at several schools reading to the kids. I love it. Dr. Zoo's birthday this week, so I got to be at the real small ones. I loved it. Good stuff right there.
Well, they keep the book simple for you.
They have to keep
big
print.
He's not reading War and Peace.
Few pages, big print.
Right.
You know? That's the way it is. Few pages.
We had baseball and softball players at the Presbyterian Day School along with Jacks on Wednesday, and they had a blast.
Great question from B. Small in the Houston or the Dallas area. Says heavy starch at that first
Heavy
pitch?
starch, baby.
He's coming in.
I'm out all day long. I'm out all day.
Cameron Studer says I'm one of his. Here's what's
She
scary.
is one of mine. I loved her. She's a sharp girl.
But Brother Gary's a lefty, and he would have a natural slider except for that starch. Everything's got a.
It's all 12 and 6.
It's all 12 and 6. Very difficult. He throws it, and you can hear his shirt crack.
Just like that.
Yeah.
I love it, man. So good stuff right there.
People
we have
think
cracking glass
the
on the
umpire
thing?
calls the game thinking it's lightning because he hears the crack of the starch.
Do we have cracking glass on that thing? Let's see. Let's go through the litany here. What we got? No.
Silly.
No, we don't. That was Aunt Betty. Did you hear Aunt Betty right there? There's Aunt Betty. Hello, Aunt Betty. Is that? She called us, and then didn't say anything. I didn't know I was on the air.
Right.
Great.
Love
No,
you.
I thought we had that glass breaking thing. Hey, we love you. So, brother man, you've got a full weekend.
Yeah, full weekend.
And you'll be at the rodeo next
I'll
weekend.
be at the rodeo next weekend too, Friday and Saturday probably.
Well, folks can come out and say hi to Brother Gary
Right
there.
on.
He hangs out around that VIP tent, goes back and forth to his
I know where she's
catwalk.
at. I know where you're at.
He'll sign it. He's always got a Sharpie. I'm not saying he's, confident. He's just always got a Sharpie.
And 8 by 10 glossies.
Yeah, he
Right.
got a glossy. If you're really
You guys are
special, you
great.
might get a pen.
Oh man, hey, we got stuff. Next week I got some good stuff for y'all. Okay?
Brother man, we love you.
Love
Thanks.
y'all. Thank you.
Folks, we hope you guys have a great weekend. This was a fast-paced day. Special thanks to Tyler Dick for showing up. Hope you guys have a great weekend and know that Wade and Carter appreciates your patronage.
We'll see you Monday.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.
Bye, HR.
I've been locked up for driving 120 through town.